Hello, good morning, fellow brothers and sisters. Today I chose a topic that is very easy for everybody to understand. I think the question, what is a nation? Even as one child will be able to tell us what it is. But unfortunately, we have not paid much attention to what really a nation is. Because if we have paid attention to it, some of the challenges that we are facing in our societies at the moment wouldn't have been there. But because we overlook it, it comes down to a point we are all witnessing its effect and impact in the kind of system that we live in today. Now, the question is, what is a nation? A nation simply means a land with people. Because there's no land without people that we call a nation. There's no people without a land that we call a nation. Nation simply means land with people. Now, how does a nation develop? Okay, for a nation to develop, you need two major resources. And these two major resources are the people and the land. So you turn the people into human resources and you turn the land into material resources. So these are the two resources which every nation needs for its development. But the question then becomes, how does these resources develop by itself? Now the resources cannot develop by itself unless certain measures has been taken. One measure is, for example, education. Education here is used as an instrument to educate the human resources, the uses of the material resources, so that they will be able to put material resources into its double use. Now, before education comes, there should be some kind of a system that will streamline the whole system of education and everything. That comes on from governance. So governance is where the whole thing starts coming in. Now, somebody might ask, what is governance? I know most of you know what I'm saying, but this is for the common people that have no idea. Because if the common people do not come up to know what we are in now, there is no way we'll be able to come out. So this is for the common people. And it can also refresh your thinking because I know you know, but most times you don't look in the area where I'm looking at. So we go on. What is governance? Governance have got so many terms and so many definitions, so many practices and everything. But what is a real governance? Okay, just as a nation has two resources, same way every governance have got two organs. Some have made it to be four organs, where they say the executive, the legislative, the uh, judiciary, and that's other ones. But if in actual sense, governance is only two organs, and these two organs are the government and the parliament. The parliament is the house of the people, and the governance is administration of the house of the people. These two places becomes then the checks and balances. So we look back at home, the kind of system that we have a system by political party governance. And with political party governance, as comparing what we have at home to what the Europeans are practicing, especially for Germany, because I live in Germany. See that the Germans, what they do with their political party system in terms of governance is party that means they share according to percentage. So if let's say for instance SPD wins, let's say for instance 40%, that 40% he has control over the governance, 40% of the governance. Then he also have 40% of the parliament. CDU wins and he gets 60%. He gets 60% of the governance and 60% of the parliament. Other parties, if you have 1%, you have 1% of the governance and 1% of the parliament. So whatever percentage that you have that percentage in both places, making there to be checks and balances. Because if you have 60 and somebody has 40, he's below you watching what you are doing. You then watch your feet. You don't do what you are not supposed to do. So the checks and balances works. Now bring it back to Ghana. where I'm born. Party that wins, he has a power over the governors, government, and he has a power over the parliament. So the two organs are under the control of the same party. So here, the question will be, how would there be checks and balances? Now, under normal circumstances, the checks and balances should have come from the parliament house, because from there is the people's voice. But unfortunately, in the parliament house, they are not discussing people's voice, but rather they are discussing the party in power's policies. So if they are discussing that party in power's policies, and in that parliament, that party has got that majority, tell me, which other policy will not go through? So automatically, it's just a rubber stamp. We don't have a parliament. We don't want one party state, but in a way, it looks like one party state. Because what that party says is exactly what goes on. When the party says something and the people don't want it, how does it go? The parliament is not people's voice, it's political party's voice. And if it's a political party's voice, how can the people's voice be held off? It does not make sense for democracy, and it does not make sense for governance. So if we want to initiate a proper governance that can really take the nation to its feet and bring it back to the way it should be, then the people's governance should be looked into it. Now, somebody might ask, what is the people's governance? People's governance simply means voice of the people, your voice and my voice, your opinion and my opinion. If we put these two opinions together on the same table and we look into it, no matter how different they might look like, there might be a seed in it that we can plant that at the end of the day, we might get something to eat out of. This is how thinkers do. We all look from different directions. You look in that direction, I look in that direction. We come back, we sit down, we talk about what we saw. You say what you saw there, I tell you what I saw. Then we look at it to see where we can get something out of it. Whatever we get out of it, if we should put that thing into manifestation, I guess somebody will come from somewhere and say, hey, these guys were thinkers. This is how it was done. And this is how the people's governance goes about it. Now you might ask, what is all about people's governance? What is so different about people's governance and political parties' governance? Now, to know the difference, we have to look at it from both sides. Now, the political party governance is a government where leaders are chosen from the representatives of the political parties and are voted by the people to control the system. People's governance, people's governance is a governance where the people choose their own leaders from among them to represent them in operating the system. Now, if we look at it too, what are some of the things that makes these two governors to be either to like it or not to like it? With a political party's governance, policies are made from the manifestos of the political parties. And these manifestos are written by the members of the political parties, which is a segment of the nation. Now, with the people's governance, a national development plan is written out of the constitution from the people, because the constitution is written from them. We will come to that point. You see, so whatever they write is what they abide by it. Now, like we were talking, in terms of governance, if we talk about democratic governance and we look at people's governance, then we see the difference between political party governance and people's governance. Now, What a political party's governance comes up to the point that the nation is not giving these political parties money for them to do their campaigns. And these political parties being registered as an NGO, there is no way they will be able to raise money for them to their political campaign. In the sense that by laws, they are not supposed to produce any products and they are not supposed to sell any services in exchange for money. So if they are not supposed to do these two things, which will bring money, then how would they be able to survive? There is no way they will be able to survive. So when things come something like that, it means that the members of that political parties, they have to contribute money. And with that money, they give it to they will give it to the political party for them to do their campaign. And from there, it's when the party wins, because it is a party which is submitting its policies to parliament for approval, it is the same policies that will be sent to the World Bank. And when the World Bank approve the money is in the name of the nation. But when it comes down to the country, it goes into the pot or the pocket of the political party in power. So this political party, what happened is they presented their policies. So if the policies have been approved, then those people that wrote that policies will have to come in and share the projects. So whatever money that you contributed for the winning of the campaign, if you contributed 10 million, they give you a project that will make you to have your 10 million plus 20% of whatever amount of that amount. So you extract it from there, the rest of the money goes into the project. But in people's governance, it is we who have written our proposal. So we know how we can get our money. Either we raise the money from inside or we raise the money from outside. We raise the money from outside, which means whoever is going to collect the money from the World Bank, when he come back, he is going to tell us how much money was given to him. The money given to him, he's going to tell us, okay, this is a project you've given it to me. I'm giving it 2 years, I'll be able to do up to this point. If after that 2 years, he's not been able to do it, then it means that we've got opportunity to ask him questions. We've got opportunity to hold him accountable, because in this sense, it means that we have given this person an obligation, and from that obligation, he is accountable to us. But in terms of political party governance, because we don't give them anything, any obligation for them to do apart from going to vote for them, whatever they are doing, we can't hold them accountable, and we will never be able to hold them accountable. Because whatever they get from the World Bank, they don't come back and tell us that when we went to the World Bank, they gave us 2 cedis or they gave us 3 cedis. And out of the 3 cedis, we are using 1 cedi to buy ice water. So the money which is left is this. It has not been done, and it will never be done. It will never be done. So people, I will come again with another topic on the same political governance, on the same people's governance, for us to see how far we can go with it and what best we can do in order to be able to close this political party governance and open the people's governance for us to see light in the future. Because our generation and the generation coming, they are all in need of it. Thank you very much, and I'll hear from you again. Please share it and let's see what we can do about it. Thank you very much.